So in the first episode of Reinvent Hollywood, we're going to be looking at the form. I find this particularly exciting because I chose to enter the film business because I felt that movies were the art form that most captured our life today. And I don't think that's true anymore. Movies and the movie business in general has got caught following antiquated practices, and we haven't evolved alongside with the technology. We have far more opportunities to tell our stories in new and different ways than we ever had before. Films don't have to be limited to a single platform, and they don't have to be told in the same way on each and every platform. The internet brings us our first real opportunity to truly connect with audiences, to hear what they're responding to measure what they're responding to, and to evolve how we tell our stories. What we can imagine can be created, and what we have never even dreamed about will be created. When I think about films, when I advise filmmakers now on how to create, what to create, I don't want people to limit themselves simply to a 90-minute or 2-hour form. I don't want them to limit themselves to a single story. We've seen audiences on television responding to far greater character development, actors and characters that have much more depth than what they previously had. And we've seen the creators also get excited about getting to explore in that way. But we can do it even beyond that. Why are we stuck in a linear storytelling format? When you tell one story, you could be following also the supporting characters on their own journeys. That type of storytelling could work across different platforms. You might consume it linearly on your television or in the movie theater, and then perhaps on your iPad or phone, you follow the supporting characters along that way. And those are still kind of passive, lean-back experiences. What about the stories that you could actually participate in? Over the last decade, we've seen revenue from games surpass that of films. Clearly, the audience likes to play as much as they like to be directed to. Yet, where's the entertainment form that makes sense of that? What we look for when we watch movies, when we engage in films, often is more than just entertainment. Movies have this really unique element where we have a shared emotional response with strangers in the dark. It's probably the only legal way that you can do that. Yet we haven't found a way to exploit that to its fullest advantage. The internet allows us to connect with strangers. Why are we still reviewing things in solitary experiences when we consume online? Why aren't we sharing more? Why is that sharing, that social experience, often only limited to a Twitter feed or a Facebook post? Much more can be done, and with that, we have the opportunity to start to connect with people who are much more like ourselves that we can find out into this world. A story doesn't have to begin or end in the same place. We can discover movies in many different ways than just through trailers or film posters. How come we're not creating different nodes of discovery, different starting points, and different ways of engagement? Similarly, we've often probably all had the same experience when you're watching something and either you see a location or an actor or some element that you want to go in much more in depth to. How come we don't have those wormholes that we could go into and actually get lost into, have another viewing experience, and then come back out and have what we had originally started with continue? I've been able to bring together 5 of the industry leaders, friends of mine, associates, who have been the ones to do the cutting-edge thinking in this emerging form of both cross-platform and transmedia. In speaking with them about the potential, we will see our future. They've put more thought into this than anyone else I've known, and many of them, I can tell you, have blown my mind when I've spoken to them about what our future holds. We see this as a conversation, but it is also a think tank. We will be looking for new solutions, innovative processes that can transform what our entertainment is. So we're going to start with the forum, but this is just part one of a 6-part series where we're really looking to try to explore what an end-to-end solution might be for the entire film industry. We're starting with the forum, we're going to the artist, the audience, the business, the infrastructure, and the rules of the game, the law of the land, as it were. We hope that through this entire process, we'll start to come up with real solutions, best practices, steps forward for how we can take where we are today with the film industry to something that is far more sustainable, far more viable for a large number of creators and audiences, and far more enjoyable and fulfilling than what we currently have.